As a seasoned cinema devotee with a soft spot for westerns that span generations, I must confess my disappointment with Disney's The Lone Ranger. There's such a rich history and iconic characters to draw upon. It seemed like an opportunity to create another timeless Western masterpiece.
However, the film fell short in almost every aspect, leaving me longing for the days of classics like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, or the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Although the Western film genre is widely appreciated, not every Western movie has been successful, but one film in particular is notable for being one of the costliest Westerns who ever produced, and a massive flop both critically and commercially. The Western genre boasts numerous timeless classics across cinema and television. In the realm of cinema, the Western genre can be traced back to the 1890s with brief silent films, with the first known full-length Western narrative movie being Kidnapping by Indians, released in 1899. Since then, the Western genre has undergone a significant transformation, even blending with other genres, and remains a favorite to this day. The genre of Western films has produced many timeless masterpieces such as The Great Train Robbery, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, True Grit, and Dances with Wolves. Just like any other genre, the Western branch has also experienced some significant flops. These failures could be attributed to their narratives, acting, production issues, or other contentious matters. One notable example is Disney's The Lone Ranger, a movie that was both a critical and commercial disappointment and is known as one of the costliest Western films ever. Important. There is The Lone Ranger is a fictional former Texas Ranger who fought outlaws in the old American West. The character was created by George W. Trendle and Frank Stryker and made his first appearance on a radio show in 1933. The Lone Ranger was accompanied by Tonto, his Native American friend, and they got their own TV show in 1949. The Lone Ranger is one of the most popular characters in Western, and in 2013 it got a new film adaptation under Disney's wing. Under the guidance of director Gore Verbinski, the film The Lone Ranger unfolds the tale of John Reed, played by Armie Hammer, the eponymous Ranger, and Tonto, Johnny Depp, who's both his partner and narrator. They join forces to pursue Cavendish, William Fichtner, a vicious and cannibalistic outlaw. Despite encountering financial difficulties that nearly halted production, the Carvey Lone Ranger, being one of the costliest Westerns ever produced, boasting a budget of approximately $250 million. And despite its initial expectations, the movie The Lone Ranger failed to impress at the box office, earning $260.5 million, making it one of the biggest financial flops ever. The film also shares a similar fate with other high-concept Western movies that bombed in the past, like Wild Wild West from 1999 and Cowboys and Aliens in 2011. Disney is reported to have suffered a loss of around $160 to $190 million due to this film, which has gained notoriety not only for its financial performance, but also due to few controversies surrounding it. A Touch stated over its final competition. The Lone Ranger faced controversy during pre-production due to its decision to cast Johnny Depp as Tonto. There were understandable concerns about Depp, the Comanche. Though Depp shared, he saw his casting as an opportunity to right the wrongs of the past, referring to how Native American culture is portrayed in the media, total film via Indian country. That alone was enough for many people to choose not to watch The Lone Ranger, but the movie just couldn't win the critic over. As a fan who was eagerly anticipating a gripping Western adventure, I must admit that I found myself underwhelmed by my experience with The Lone Ranger. The film's runtime of over 2 hours felt excessive, and unfortunately the action lacked the excitement that I had hoped for, veering more towards unintentional comedy instead.
Some critics even went as far as saying that the movie never fully embraced the Western genre, instead presenting a caricature of it. With a 31% score on Rotten Tomatoes and disappointing box office in numbers,
Home Rain York has unfortunately become one of the most forgettable Westerns in recent memory.